Okay, so I'm going to use the same, look at that, this is a much better drawing of someone kneeling. I'm going to use the same structure as I did in Husky Problems. That was a model I did. Actually, I've got it right here, one moment. Okay, so this is a model I called Husky Problems. It was inspired by a model, she's really pretty, named Misa Campo. You may have heard of her, I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to use this same structure for the angel. So this is, you know, the model, her name is Misa Campo, and her dog, which is a husky. So from this side, this is one square of paper, by the way. So, yep, there we go. Her dog down here and her up here. So the way this one worked was this is the top edge of the paper at her head. And then this at the tail of the dog is the bottom edge of the paper. And they're connected like this. Alright, I'll go through a crease pattern of how, actually, you know, I already have videos on how this is done, so go watch those. But anyway, I want to use this same hair, maybe without this, this third layer of hair, so it'll just be 2 layers of hair. So there'll be this really long one that comes down, and then this won't be here, so it'll just be this. Okay. And the form is going to be the same as this, because this works out really well. Okay, I'm going to go into how I designed this, just so you know. Okay, so put that off to the side. And as far as wings go, I could either do... Sorry, I've got stuff everywhere. I can either do wings like this, so they're curved and wavy. Alright, so I can either do wings like that. And by the way, the arms on this angel come out of the sides of the paper. So let's imagine that this is a square. On this angel, we have the head up here, the wings are coming from the top corners, the arms come out of the sides, and then the dress is the bottom half of the paper. And it is sleeting outside. It's wonderful. No school tomorrow. So, I can either do wings like that, or I can do wings that actually have feathers on them. And I will show you what those look like. Maybe. Yeah. So wings with feathers look like this. Alright, so you can actually see the layers. Alright. And we're going to do the same sort of thing here. The wings are actually made out of the bottom section of the paper, and this is the top edge, and then this is the bottom edge. So the paper was a 3-foot square, and it was folded essentially in half. So the wings came from the bottom, the head comes from the top. Okay. So the way I think I'm going to do this, right now I'm going to forget about the heart. Just for now. Jeez, I am very disorganized. Okay. There we go. I'm using the same proportions as I did for Husky Problems. And I have a video on how that one came together. So let me zoom, whoops, wrong way. There we go. Okay. So this is what I did for Husky Problems. I sketched out, and this took me quite a while, by the way. I sketched out the figure of, where am I? Here we go. I sketched out the figure of a lady here. She's not wearing anything, and that's just so I could get proportions right, not because I'm weird. And I just worked out, I set the head at 2 units, or sorry, 3 units. And then I just worked out what the proportions would be in comparison to the head. Her head. Now, over here I did a stick figure that corresponds to the actual figure. You don't have to do a stick figure. I just did it because I was going to try using tree theory and, you know, hope that it worked out for me. And I was going to try using Robert Lang's circle packing method that he details in his Origami Design Secrets book. But I've found that those methods don't really work for me. So, anyways, I just ended up working off of this. It's just a human figure with the proportions written in comparison to the size of her head. So if her head is 3 units high from the top of the hair to chin, then that means from the shoulder down to about halfway through her breast is going to be 3 units. So from shoulder to breast is 3 units. And then from middle of the breast to lower back is another 3 units. Then lower back to the bottom of her butt would be 3 units. And then from bottom of the butt to kneecap is 6 units. And then from kneecap to ankle is 5 or 6 units. From the elbow to the fingertips is, I can't read that upside down. Okay. From the elbow to the wrist is 5 units, and then the wrist to the fingers is going to be 2 units. This is going to be, the hands are going to be a little bit different because I change scale when I'm folding it, but I'll get to that. It's not a huge deal. Okay. Now I wanted the hair to go from, obviously from the top of her head, down to her lower back. So I just took note of that measurement. And then if you want to do this in using tree theory, then you can make your stick figure here. And just make sure that your hair lines, I hope you can see that. Yeah. Make sure that your hairlines are as long as, not your hairline, but the line representing the hair is the length from the top of her head down to middle of the lower back. So, top of the head is, top of the head to the neck is 3 units, and then neck to lower back is 6 units. So that's 9 units altogether. So just make sure this line that represents her hair is 9 units, and so on and so forth. What is up with this battery? Oh my goodness. Hang on a second. These batteries on this camera is just, I charged it for like, several hours. It's fully charged, and it's lasted about 10 minutes. It's a terrible battery. This is a Canon camera, HD CMOS. So if you get one of these cameras, make sure that it comes with a really good battery that's better than this one. Okay. Alright. So that is how I go about deciding proportions for the model. Now, I'm going to make her kneeling, so I don't have to worry about this whole bottom section here. So that 6 units, 5 or 6 units for the calf, and then 3 units for the feet. I don't have to worry about that because she'll be kneeling like that, and she'll have a dress on, which means I don't have to do a whole lot as far as legs, forming legs goes. I might actually make her with legs. I haven't decided yet, but I'll figure that out as I go. Okay. So the crease pattern. Let me turn this around. There we go. I'm going to draw this crease pattern upside down, so this might take me a little while, so bear with me. The way I do this is I take a look at what elements I have. I've got hair, obviously arms, legs, and there will be wings as well. Those are not drawn on this because this was obviously designed for a different model. Now, wings can be made out of the corners of the square. Hopefully you're using squares and not rectangles. Well, hopefully you're purist origami artists, not all this cutting and gluing and multiple sheets of paper BS. So, actually unit origami is pretty cool. But I am a purist. I like one square, no cuts, no glue, nothing like that. Anyways, so I want wings coming out of her upper back, so like near the shoulder blades, and a heart in her hands. I'm not going to worry too much about the heart right now because I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to do that. I'll go ahead and detail that now, just so that you know what's going through my head at the moment. So, to make the heart, I'm going to go like this. It'll be I'm going to get a pen, actually, so you can see this better. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Alright, so the heart obviously will look roughly like that. So that'll be half of it. If you can see alright. Yeah, you're good. And of course the other half. Like that. It's a really not a bad heart. So, from the base of the heart, I want kind of tendrils coming out like this. They don't have to be that long. I'm just getting the idea at the moment. So, I'm going to make this model symmetrical, so I don't have to worry about this side right now. I'm just worried about this side. So if I were to take this part of the heart and extend it out this way, I would end up with a line. So that would be the so this would be the piece of the paper that makes the curved, or the curve of the heart, if we straighten it out. So all that is an appendage. Alright, and the way we make appendages is like this. Let's pretend that this is the corner of a square. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Alright, so let's say this is the corner of a square. And we have our grid lines going like this. We make the appendages by adding a diagonal. And if you've seen my my box pleating tutorials, they're only 2 parts and they're pretty brief. But if you've seen those, then you know that. Let's go like this. Okay. Then you know that when you fold this, the sides collapse inwards, and you get an appendage that looks like this, like this.